Another question here. We've got a question from Ian. Can you use different senses, like hear and see, etc., to help people in hypnosis? Okay. People say to me, what is the quickest way to get rid of a psychological problem? I say decapitation. Works every time. Okay. Even gets rid of colds. Very effective. Okay. Because once you've got decapitation, you've got no brain, you've got no senses. Okay. So we are totally dependent on our senses for all of our experience. So can you use senses in hypnosis? Of course we can, because our whole entire experience is based on our senses. Even hypnotic inductions are based on our senses. So let's look at different things here. Trance induction using the senses, number one. What was the question again? Oh yeah, trance induction. Okay, to induce hypnosis using the senses. Deepening using the senses, and how we use sensory-based language, again, to match client's reality and create a three-dimensional version of reality inside as well as outside. Okay. So first of all, as a trance induction, most people think that when you put somebody into hypnosis, it's like, you know, going to trance, sleep or whatever, going deeper and deeper, deeper, now you're in trance, and the client goes in like this, all the senses at once. No, the client goes in each sense separately. They don't all go together unless you bring them together. So let's put it, imagine a graph, okay, a graph, piece of paper with a graph. And you've got, on this side, you've got the visual, auditory, kinesthetic, maybe gustatory, olfactory there as well. When you put somebody into hypnosis, let's say they go down. So I'll put this hand, so they go down into a trance. So visual sense, they go down, auditory sense, they go down, and kinesthetic sense, they go down. Okay, but doesn't guarantee they're all going to go down simultaneously. They go down at different levels depending on the natural ability the person has to visualize, to experience some kinesthetic experience, or to have auditory hallucinations, you know, inside the head. So people don't often realize this. So it's a matter of taking each sense into trance separately, because that's how they go into trance anyway. If you can overlap the senses, so whatever they're seeing, they also hear and feel at the same time, those individual senses will then come together collectively to go down together. Which is why when we're doing an induction, let's say it's somebody on the beach, we'll talk about the colors of the ocean, the horizon line, the color of the sky meeting the sea, how the colors blend or whatever, or different. And we'll talk about the clouds, the colors, the white clouds, the blue sky. So that's all visual, okay? But if we also include the sounds, okay, the sound of the ocean, the sound of the waves coming in over onto the beach, okay, the sounds of birds in the sky, for example, the sound of the wind against your ear. So we've got auditory as well. And then we include feelings. So is the feeling of our feet on the sand, is a feeling of the water coming in over our feet, over our toes, how the wet sand is cooler than the hot sand, how our toes are digging into the sand. Okay, the same thing with the sounds of, let's say, the sky, the wind. You can feel the wind on the side of your face. You don't feel birds pooping on your head. That's not really, it's going too far, really, isn't it? So you can feel the wind on the side of your face, all of this. So you're overlapping all of these senses. Okay, that way, all these senses go down simultaneously into a trance state. And sometimes what can happen, someone, let's say in the room, bangs the door. And when that door bangs, the auditory comes up out of trance for a few moments, and then goes down again to meet the others. Or maybe they fidget in the chair. The kinesthetic one comes out of trance for a moment, goes down. So the others are still down there. They're still walking along the beach, but suddenly there's a door bang from somewhere. Where on earth is that? I'm down on the beach. Suddenly it comes out of trance to identify that, then lets go and goes down again. So when someone's in trance, all the senses don't just all come up and go down like this. Each sense can come up and down independent of each other. And if you want to know what causes naturally causing amnesia, It's when every time something comes up and goes down, the duration of the time when any of those senses are up, it means the conscious mind is active anytime those senses are up there. And when the client then thinks about how long they were in trance, usually they'll say it's something like 20 minutes when in fact it's been an hour, because they only remember the times when they were up. They don't remember all the stuff when they were down. So that'll give you an indication of how good a trance subject they are. And you know, if they say, oh, I remember everything you said, well, of course they don't remember everything you said. They just remember the bits they remember that you said. And there's those times when they came up or whatever. Okay, they were aware of what you said. And so the perception of trance is a lot shorter normally than the whole trance actually was. So it gives you an indication of what's actually happening. So the ideal, of course, is to have the person down in trance all the way and just be enjoying themselves, splashing on the beach with a beach ball or whatever. And meanwhile, while you're talking to the unconscious mind, and you may return to them every now and then and say, no, just walk a little further along the beach. You could even use walking along the beach as a deepener. If they start to, one of the senses starts to come up or fidget, you say, no, I'd like you to walk slowly along the beach and feel the water coming over your feet. And each step you take, you go deeper into hypnosis, deep into hypnosis, deep into hypnosis. And sometimes, as I've done, if they haven't gone deep enough, I'll say, well, there's a lovely tree there. You could lie underneath that tree or sit under that tree. And then you can think of somewhere else that you know. Somewhere's very comfortable there, somewhere, maybe inside or outside. And they think of somewhere else now, so you're embedding a trance inside a trance. So they're on the beach, they're sitting under the tree. Meanwhile, their mind has wandered elsewhere, gone to another location. So it's a trance within a trance. It's a deepening process. I just want to keep them active, occupied with someplace while I talk to the unconscious. So, Ian, there you go. Okay, so what we're using there is we're using the concept of senses going up and down, well, it's a concept of overlapping senses and creating a three-dimensional reality. And of course, we use sensory-based predicates as well. We talk about seeing things. We use sensory-based words, focus, perspective, colors, and we use auditory words and kinesthetic words and overlap them to create that. So it's sensory-based predicates to create this wonderful internal 3D representation of the reality that you're helping them experience.